Hi guys, welcome to the Out There channel. Please subscribe and like this video. Thanks everybody, we're now over 100 subscribers to the channel. I've now got a custom channel link and also now some new artwork and set up a shop this week, so I haven't had much time to produce new videos. If you like my new UFO artwork of pyramids on the moon and a UFO hovering above them, you can get it printed on t-shirts or a mug. Just visit my new store, which can be found in the About tab of the channel or on the banner above. In this episode of New SnipBits number 3, we will be going over some UFO sightings that have been in the news recently and also looking at levitating devices and other tech news and science items. Here are some interesting levitating devices and toys that I will quickly show you. Here is an interesting one, a Mars speaker. Has like a little UFO that sits on top and goes up and down in time to the music. Pretty neat. Looks like it has USB port and is Bluetooth, so it's wireless connection. Here's another platform that levitates up to 20 pounds of pretty much any object. It's not too clear, but maybe there's a metal plate that they sit on or another magnet they sit on. And here's another one levitating a bulb. There's a few designs out there and they are available on Amazon and other places like AliExpress. Not as interesting as the speaker that was going up and down in time to music, but it would be good to have like a model of a TR3B perhaps levitating up and down randomly on a platform similar to this. Let's have a quick look at where you can buy the stuff from and also the prices. Looks like the pricing varies a bit from $20 to $50, and I think the speaker was about $100 or more. You can see there's various designs and different things you can get, and there's also a floating globe. Here's yet another platform, but a round one. It kind of almost looks like a kit set type platform. Here's one of my favourites, a levitating bottle of booze. Anyone fancy a beer? A novelty piece for the home or maybe even the office. But yeah, it would be for you sitting on top of your bar, I suppose, at home. Here's one last one that we'll have a look at. This one's quite neat. It's a spinning top toy that you can buy, and you spin it and then you lift it up and then it sort of hovers there until the spin gets slower and then it loses levitation and starts wobbling too much and then falls down. So that would be a really interesting one to see if you get like a spinning motor, and it'll always be upwards without having to play around with it. A interesting toy for the office maybe, or for your kids, but I think it would soon get boring and lose interest in it because you have to keep playing around with it. You want something that's sort of automatic and electronic, or constantly hovers. So even that one, they want $20 for it. And here's yet another variation on the spinning top. Has some good reviews on it though. Okay, on to other news items. Here they're talking about a liquid metal that can be like the Terminator. They can put a current through it and they can make it change shapes. Very fascinating. Oops, I'm starting to sound like Darren Crapo from UFO Planet. Looks like the end of last year they made a breakthrough on fusion power. They found using a shower of liquid metal. So maybe we'll have endless power soon, in the next 10-20 years. So here they're talking about the metal shower turning into a plasma gas. Now what does that sound like to you? It sounds very similar to that Triangle UFO documentary I did. I'm talking about how the engines work with liquid mercury or plasma mercury. Here's an article from the 13th of January 2017. It's probably a false positive, but they're talking about cyber attacks that might be coming our way because of Trump's victory. Looks like they're going after all the Trump supporters. Those crazy leftists, eh? Well, that was 2 weeks ago, so nothing's happened from what I've heard, but maybe it's still yet to come. I see they've got some WikiLeaks tweets there that they think is suspicious. Here is our first report on a UFO sighting by Chile and its Navy. It's already been debunked. A lot of UFO channels or fake channels picked it up for some clickbait to make money from it. But yeah, apparently, if you can see here, it's a plane and it looks like afterburners to me, and that's why it's left a contrail after it, or chemtrail if you want to call it. I think it was on radar, even though the reports, news items said it wasn't. But then again, military planes have radar absorption paint on them, which could quite easily hide them from the radar and be an experimental plane that they're filming. Looks like they arrested a 17-year-old boy for that crime at the Roswell Museum, where they took it out the garage where it was being refixed, and they took it out in the desert and smashed it up to bits. Yet another story about birds descending out of the sky or dying and falling down at Houston this time. It all happens in Texas. Yeah, so that's blackbirds. They're relating it to the Alfred Hitchcock film called The Birds, which was an all-time classic movie. Okay, our next UFO case, this time apparently 2 UFOs passing the Air Force One jet with Trump in it. Well, that's been debunked as well. As you can see in pictures to follow, it has been debunked as planes, or one of them being a bird even close to the camera. As you can see in the following photos, that often planes fly close or within range of Air Force One for protection. So apparently CIA has released 13 million documents that were classified, some of it talking about UFO sightings and also psychics, and also about Stargate program, as you can see in the next article that comes along. I don't think it's going to disclose UFOs by the sounds of it, because it would be big news by now. Here's a New Zealand UFO sighting that's happened recently. It's been sort of dismissed as being a plane far away from the camera because it's in a flight path area, but they don't talk about confirming it with radar signatures at all. Still, people film in portrait mode. They should do landscape, that doubles the pixels and we can zoom in better on the image as well. As you can see, it's far away, so yeah, it's just a light source in the sky. Here's a news clip where they're saying that Facebook is advertising for scientists to work on human brain to computer interfaces. Now, how will that work with social media? So, world temperatures hit a world record high for 3 years in a row. Sounds like they're trying to push climate change and global warming on agenda again. As you can see, why couldn't it be that the sun is changing? Look at this big meteorite, as big as a planet, crashing into it. That's got to affect it somehow. So, is man affecting the climate? What do you think? So, they're saying that mad cow's disease still could come back, depend on the immune system of people. I think it may already be back in USA. Just look at this crazy woman to follow. Sorry, I couldn't resist that one. Sorry to those Hillary fans out there. This is old news from last year that they're reporting again in the new year about bacteria strains resisting our antibiotics, and we're going to have a problem this year. This news article sounds like something from a movie like Starship Troopers. In Florida, some flesh-eating worms have been found inside a dog, and they tried to eradicate them back in the 1980s apparently, but looks like they survived. Looks like they've finally given up looking for that missing plane, the MH370. Clearly it crashed into the sea, but they can't find the full black box and the body of it. Bits have been washing up on shores in some of the islands. Now to the three-fingered alien hand that was found in a tunnel by UFO hunters in Peru, I believe it was. Now, it's sort of been x-rayed and I reckon it's legit and you can see the ligaments. However, there are some questions. The questions being that the guy runs an Inca tour company and it's been fabricated to try and bring in the tourists to have a look at the hand and other items they've allegedly found. Also, some scientists say that the hand can't possibly work as a normal hand. because it's physically impossible. There's yet to be DNA testing done on it, of course. However, Peru is also the place of fake cryptids, where they mix bones and put animal tissue over and make them look like legit creatures. You can remember this monkey that was dipped in acid that made a bit of a fool with this reporter guy. Also, there's other images here of other cryptids that have been made, like creepy spiders, although that kind of looks like what you get in Australia. No, just kidding. And also a fairy that looks very realistic, but also was proven to be fake, because you can see attachments in the bones and the x-rays. This has turned out to be a long episode, but we're finally to our last news article here on a drone that's going to be like an air taxi for people, that's being worked on by DARPA and similar research people. Also have a collection of other things that DARPA have been working on, which will be very interesting to have a look at. Correction, Airbus, not DARPA on the first one. These ones here are DARPA stuff though. A swarm of drones that communicate with each other. And now they're looking at Dragnet, which will monitor the city skies for suspicious activities like drones in the skies. And also it sounds very like Skynet. You might recall the 9/11 conspiracy theories that the military were able to remote control normal looking planes and fly them into towers. Well, look at this article here. It talks about DARPA making normal helicopters and planes be able to fly like a normal drone control. Lasers that can shoot down missiles on the front of planes. Here they're making bird-like drones that mimic the flight of birds even, and also they wire up living creatures like beetles, insects, and able to control them like a joystick on them. So imagine having a real bug in the office that actually listens in, takes photos and flies away. The kids today are so lucky. They have all these nice, neat, cool flying drones and airship type fish that they can control around the house. Flying shark. Of course, you'd be very upset if it got popped and lost all its gas and wasn't floating around anymore. These are, of course, toys version of this company that's developed these flying dolphins that just fly around conventions and also the office foyer. They're very neat and very clever, and they have no humans need to remote control them. I bet everybody wants one of those flying around in their big mansion in Hollywood. What do you reckon? Thanks for watching, and come again soon. Please like the video if you enjoyed this episode.